Hi Preeti, welcome to this feedback interview session. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Saurabh. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. So for the viewers who are watching this video or going to watch this video, Preeti, she has more than 18 plus years of experience into networking, network security, cyber security. Currently, she's working in Tiato into cyber security domain. So today we are going to discuss about her experience, about her training experiences, and some insights about how participants, beginners can start their career into networking. So, hi Preeti, welcome again, and let's get started.
Sure.
So, Preeti, can you please help us understand about your background into the IT industry and your total years of experience, in which domain you had these experiences?
Oh, sure, Saurabh. So it's been totally 18 years into IT industry for me. So I started pretty much like a desktop troubleshooting agent with one of the MNCs, and then I eventually graduated into mid-range operations team lead, and so on. So forth. The journey has been pretty promising into project management, and then into as a service delivery for infrastructure and connectivity. So it's been a long road, a lot of learnings, I would say, uh, and a lot of certifications to do during all this time frame to enhance my understanding of the role that I am into and what I want to pursue. So I am a lead auditor, ISO. I've done my ethical hacking as well certified and PMP certified as well. So
Right.
that's pretty much.
Sometime back, you enrolled for CCNA with I-MEDITA. What was the motivation and reason um, to go for CCNA with 15, 16 years of experience into the industry?
Oh, I was always into this technical side of it, right? But during our time, it was like, okay, you get into job and then you cannot really prioritize things, right? But then we get a lot of on-job trainings, and then you have to just stay put with it. So that is how I've spent most of my career path. Um, but then I started doing projects into infrastructure, into security, and that's how I started prepping for CISP, okay, Certified Information Security professionals. During that time, I understood that there's one domain for networks, and I understood I need to understand this little bit more better. Though I might not have hands-on, but I wanted to give it a shot, and I see like that I should not fail because just of that domain. I want to get that understanding, and that's how I enrolled for CCNA. And it was quite nice, to understand things, from that level. It's pretty complex, even if we say that's an intermediate or just an entry level certificate, but it's pretty vast, you say. So that's how I joined CCNA.
And what was the reason to go ahead with I-MEDITA only? There are many institutes, many training organizations nowadays. Many organizations are offering online courses. So you enrolled for classroom training, I think, and you came and did classroom trainings as well. So what was the reason to go with I-MEDITA only?
So, like, we've been into this industry for quite a long time. We do certain analysis before we join an institute, right? So, it was a word of mouth, definitely. I've a few colleagues who've been into I-MEDITA. I've read the reviews. Then I came in and met you all personally, right? Sort of. So, based on the way that you were coaching, you were telling how what the pathway should be for your career and all that. That kind of made me think that okay, this is the right one because you're giving more than what is necessary. You're thinking on behalf of the person who's coming in, right? You're giving them the right path to follow. So that's how and also that I've seen your videos, okay, the short videos that you put on YouTube. A lot of your good trainers, yeah. um, so I've been seeing that, and I said, okay, then that makes sense. Let's join this institute. So that's how I narrowed down on I-MEDITA.
Okay. And when you did these courses with us, you were working with some companies, right?
Yeah, nice.
So how did you manage your work schedule and your learning schedules effectively?
So I used to take this weekend batches, yeah? And because that works in my favor, uh, and then giving you some 4 hours on the weekends, and then so it's kind of, if you're into it, you got to manage it, right? And,
Okay.
because I
Many
used to spend a lot of time doing my CIS trainings, and also I used to be completely like throughout the night I keep studying and then keep working. So
many working professionals, they do start a lot of training, but after a couple of weeks, after some time, they are not able to stay focused and motivated throughout the training. So, can you
Yes.
share any tips and strategies that helped you stay focused and motivated during the training?
So first is if you've joined it and you know that is what you're perceiving, you have to make time for it, right? And but needless to say, we cannot have uh, the same strategy for everybody. It has to you have to strategize based on why you first wanted to enroll for this particular course, right? That's your first motivation level. Second is prioritize it, irrespective of what, right? But then I understand there are emergencies. There sometimes you need to give time to family and so on. But recenter back, right? Come back to it. Give it whatever your time is required. And the best thing to do it always is to have a date in mind for your certification. Right? If you don't plan the date and try and work it backwards, you're never going to make it. Then it just becomes like it's an endless journey for you. You never complete. You might do 2 or 3 trainings just for that one particular thing. But it's never going to work. So having that right goal and prioritize it, irrespective of what, is very important.
And what advice would you give to somebody who is planning to kickstart their career into IT, networking, network security, or cyber security domain?
Oh, I see networks is the basics, absolute basic. You should know network, irrespective of what domain you want to get into IT. So IT is generic, right? It's a vast thing. But networks, I think everybody should know. And what I'm feeling happy about is recently my daughter Christine, she told me that, okay, Mama, in the 8th standard also, they're having this topologies, they're having these things, you know. So the syllabus is also coming up equally good, right? So the education system is churning inside out because we need these brains to start working now, right? So the sooner, because this generation, I just said, the Z generation, they're not scared. They want to try things, right? And they're thinking quick, right? They're not scared of technology. Nothing can stop them. Unlike us, during our time, even to touch a computer, no, we used to get scared. Okay, am I doing it right? Am I going to, spoil it or something like that? But they're not scared at all, right? They're born with gadgets, so they love it. So the sooner they start learning with this, it's very important that they understand what networking. These are basic things, right? Everybody has a router at home. How is that working, right? What do you mean? What is internet? They know. Okay, I'm using internet. What is internet? The definitions, and also just streamlining their thoughts a little bit is very important, and they can do wonders. You see, younger generation being hackers, and they're cracking certifications. The youngest CCNA was almost 16 or 17 years old, 18 years old. So I mean, they should just go for it. And networks is the basics, I would say. Do that first.
You mentioned about your daughter, and recently, your daughter, she cracked CCNA certification. We have recorded her testimonial as well. She mentioned
Mhm.
about your support. So, at this 16, I think she's 16, 17 years of age currently, in her 12th standard. So how did you motivated her? Because nowadays Gen Z, the generation, this Gen Z people are more aligned towards digital content, consuming a lot of content from YouTube, Instagram, and other platforms. So how did you motivated her to focus on this kind of track? Okay, was this because of your experience into this industry, or you took some other approach? So what was your motivation behind that, and how you approached this to encourage her to focus on this kind of CCNA certification?
Okay, so as I said, we've been quite long into this industry. We understand what works and how it works, right? And there are no shortcuts to success. You have to make yourself worthy of it. Certification is just an accreditation of what you know, right? It's things are working inside out. People do the certification first and then they go for experience, right? But I really wanted her to get that knowledge first, okay, and then get certified. Now she started her journey much earlier when she was in 7th standard. So there was this white hat junior, right? So they used to have some small programming and coding sessions, and also she's done 2 of those certifications for 2 years, and she used to like it. So she got initially started as a white hat junior programmer, and then later on I used to do a lot of trainings, as I said, because of the industry that I'm into. We have to keep ourselves abreast already. She would join me in my trainings, right? She would see what I'm doing. And the other thing she has about uh, learning is she would quiz you a lot. I would say girls talk, right? But she doesn't. She likes to quiz you. She will ask you, and then that's how she's started learning in those discrete pockets. Okay. Besides, my younger brother, who's no longer now with us, he was a CISO. Okay. So he used to keep telling about security. Okay, this happened, that happened. This is what I do. That is what I do. This is my portfolio. And also, little by little, he used to keep training her. He was an ethical hacker himself, ISO certified auditor, and a chief information security officer as well. Then my other brother, who is also in IT, right? Her father is coming from a networking background, so that's all in her genes, I would say, right? And
Okay.
that's how she eventually got prepped up to this. And then ultimately, I said, okay, let's do your basics first because it's a rote learning with education system nowadays. Right?
Right.
It's just like a checkbox you're doing. Right? I said, okay, not engineering, not doctorate, because that's not your skill set right now. You don't want to go there. Then let's get you ready for this industry. And that's how I used to tell her this is what I'm doing. So she used to read my CCNA book, my Cisco manuals, and then she said, okay, I want to do CCNA as well. And I said, okay, let's get you enrolled.
Right.
That's how that journey started.
Right. And because I had a conversation with her a couple of weeks back, so I asked her that how much time it took for you to prepare for this certification and to complete all the courses, modules, content, exam preparation. And I think she took the sufficient time. She took approximately 1.5 year, read all the books, all the important resources, documentation, and I am really happy that she uh, built that foundation and passed the examination in the first attempt itself. And I think all credit goes to you first for that motivation,
Okay.
for that encouragement. And it's all her hard work, I would say, all her dedication as well. And we need people like you to encourage people from a very young age to
Yeah.
learn and spend times in the right direction. I would thank you for giving us your valuable time. My last question, do you have any suggestion, feedback for us on how we can improve our training in future?
No, your training is splendid, but I would do injustice if I don't name her trainers, right? So Vikas was the one who I took the training from. I completely enjoyed, right? Sudhanshu Bhatt is one of the impressive trainers that she's been taking classes with. Uh, and I must say that at the age of 17, if she can crack CCN is because you have those kind of trainers who keep them engaged, right? Otherwise, networks is not just bits and bytes. It's not just those subnets, right? The way he used to make her understand, the entire class understand about what this is, how do you remember the small jokes, light banters there, that stayed with her. She would review those recordings on and off, and she would go through that, and that's how she started retaining a lot of her concepts, right? Then she did research a lot of other resources which I'm privy to. I do not know where did she collect that from, but then one of the extensive resources that she's used is Jeremy's Labs and Chat GPT. Okay, so she has around 6 channels within Chat GPT trying different things, questioning Chat GPT, what to do, how to do. She's building her website. She takes quizzes from Chat GPT, 10 questions per domain, and so on and so forth. So she's learned to do all that thing. And that's only because of the kind of support, guidance you people have given her. So that's you, Saurabh, to begin with. Excellent counseling that you do to her, right? So she feels pretty much at home when she's there with I-MEDITA, right? With the trainers that she has, and then Rahul Bakra, who's in charge of your labs, right? So they've been teaching her, irrespective of what her background is and all, that she's been treated unbiasedly. She's been given all that liberty to exercise, come to labs. You keep a check on her if she's coming, if she's doing the due diligence, if she's reporting in regularly, where she stands in terms of her readiness, her preparedness. So nobody does this, right? And that's not just because she's Christine or because we know, but that goes for every single student in your institute. So I think you should keep up the good work. I'm pretty happy. And I know she has a long career path with you people, so you can take that.
She has started with CCNP as well. And she has started the classes or yet to start the classes?
We start 31st.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you, Preeti. Thank you for giving us your valuable time. We wish you all the very best and keep learning and stay in touch.
Sure. Thank you so much, Saurabh. You have a good one.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye for now.